Hi everybody and welcome to the second day of the event. This is track one. Our topic is digital currencies innovation, and our first speaker is Peter Kindelman, and he's going to be telling us about innovations in the NXT scheme.
Mihao, hello. I'm Peter Kindelman from Czech Republic, a journalist, historian, and member of the Next community. Next is one of the most innovative cryptocurrency platforms. It just celebrated 1 year of existence, and 1 year ago, Next was just a simple coin with 2 developers, 100 users. But now there are 15 core developers and over 80,000 Next accounts. After the first year, we can say that Next didn't fail. All Next coins were given by the developer almost for free for 20 bitcoins, and those bitcoins were spent for the development of the wallet. And now the Next coins cost about tens millions of dollars. Next survived all kinds of attacks, and now it is focusing strictly on its best attribute, delivering revolutionary features. So what is Next? It's a platform. Next coins are the tokens that are used for Next features, and the real currencies for customers and merchants will be created on top of the Next and secured by its network. Why? These new coins will have more features and a different distribution. So everyone will be able to create its own currency on top of the Next. Next is also a next generation cryptocurrency, not because of its features like a decentralized exchange, but it's because of the revolutionary transparent mining, transparent forging algorithm. Next mining stimulates Bitcoin mining by pretending that each coin is a small mining rig. Bitcoin mining is very unfair because you don't buy 1000 mining rigs. You can afford to buy some special equipment which is way more effective than 1000 mining rigs. But in Next, all mining rigs are the same. It's just one NXT coin. It's one mining rig. So no matter how much money you invest, there is always the same return of investment if you invest in Next mining. And also Next is pre-mined, so you mine only the transaction fees. Those are circulating in the Next network. So Next brings a very transparent way to maintain its network, and you cannot cheat by building new mining factories here. All mining gear comes from the Next ecosystem, and the Next power belongs to the stakeholders. In Bitcoin, the power belongs to the owners of those mining factories, to the third parties, not to the true Bitcoiners. Next is also one of the first innovative cryptocurrencies after Bitcoin, if we don't count Ripple. And Next was built entirely from scratch without reusing the Bitcoin's source code. It uses a different approach to blockchain transaction confirmation, and Next also was the first cryptocurrency to implement the fast blockchain-based transaction asset trading. One of the most useful attributes of the Next is the fast transactions. The reason why so many businesses and altcoin users like to use Next is that its transactions are confirmed in 1 minute. With instant Next or transparent forging in the third phase, any Next transaction will be confirmed in a second in some future. And in Bitcoin right now, you have to wait even 1 hour for just 3 verifications. It also has a very light network, so even with higher number of transactions per second, Next network can be maintained by tiny computers, Raspberry Pi. Light infrastructure is a very important part for building a long-term cryptocurrency ecosystems. And next is Java-based, so it's a cross-platform proof-of-stake cryptocurrency based on Java. Why? Most popular sites like Amazon or eBay run on Java on the server side, and it was very smart to write NXT on Java because it can be run on any machine, Windows, Linux, without recompiling. Yeah, see, here you can see some comparison of the next mining rig and Bitcoin mining rig in, I think, Thailand. What isn't NXT? It's not a Bitcoin clone, unlike Litecoin, Dogecoin, and most of other coins. Next isn't a clone of Bitcoin's source code. It's written in Java, not in C++, and Next even doesn't use Peercoin's coin age parameter because it is using its own proof-of-stake algorithm. It isn't just a coin, it's not just a currency. It was built as a platform. Coins, applications, and more features will be built on top of the Next. So Next is like gold or railway. Some people trade gold, but most of us, they trade golden coins, or we use jewelry, and we usually use fiat money backed by gold, or they were backed by gold a few years ago. It's not a quick get-rich plot. Today it's very popular to have IPOs where you gather thousands of bitcoins. But during next 2 months IPO, there were only 21 bitcoins collected for the development, and they were paid for the wallet. And Next is also an open source software, and it cannot be scammed because the scams require a secrecy, and there are no secrets in this open source code. And Next also isn't a fast advertising pump and dump scheme scam. If you compare NXT to Blackcoin, Darkcoin, and any similar coins, Next lacks of a paid marketing. Next belongs to the projects where the projects are aimed. 90% of the project is aimed at the development, and 10% is looking for marketing. So this doesn't have to be a very big advantage, but we will see how this will come. Also, the NXT is very decentralized. All Next coins, all power belong to the stakeholders, and Next's inventor, BC Next, is a very big fan of decentralization, so he only delivered the source code and he left the project. So it means there are no kings, no leaders, no CEOs in Next. It could easily fail, but if the community made some bad decisions, it could fail. But since Next survived its first year, we can guess that it won't fail. There are a few ideological innovations behind Next. BC Next, the creator of Next, said that Bitcoin as an idea of trustless money had failed. Next, transparent forging mining brings the keyword transparent. It changes the focus from trust no one to don't let anyone cheat. Bitcoin relies on math, but math can't solve all problems. Mining in Next relies on the cooperation of people. It even forces the cooperation. This idea was obvious, but nobody else tried to do it. It was very easy to clone Bitcoin's ideas, and nobody even didn't try to make something new with the other ideas. So Next is an extension of Satoshi's original vision, and Bitcoin was born with some technological limitations, and Next is trying to solve them. Next is a fully decentralized organization on all counts. Other projects such as Counterparty or Ethereum aren't as decentralized as NXT, which could be advantage at some points, but NXT is a beast with thousands arms and no head. It is very difficult to organize it, but it has got many resources. If you bring people to an open, free system, they will want to contribute. I spent 1 year with Next and I can see this behavior every day. This is why there are so many productive Nexters, because they don't want to work for some CEO, for some marketing head, but they want to work for the community, for some donations. In this Starfish organization, no one is in charge, and at the same time, everyone is in the charge. The organization functions like the Starfish, and you automatically become part of the leadership, an arm of the Starfish at the moment when you join Next. Cryptocurrencies haven't got many various technologies, but the ideology and the way how the community works is very important too. While BitShares are ruled by the guys with bottomless pockets, which can be useful sometimes, NXT is building its everything by the community crowdfunding. Right now, NXT is very non-corporate, not about big money, but it could be changed. Some parts, some arms of the Starfish are aimed at the banks, businesses, governments, countries. And Next decentralized leadership leads to the system where most of the Next projects are being funded by the crowdfunding, and the releasing of the Next Asset Exchange helped to many projects because they got capital for selling their shares just within hours. Next is a future, and it's like a Bitcoin in 2 years. Next development is always ahead of the Bitcoin, and because of its organization, some people say that fast organization is a bad idea, because the society isn't prepared for such fast crypto revolution. And this is why Next is also focusing on education. When I was asking the community to compare NXT and Bitcoin, one guy came up with a very interesting idea. NXT is to Bitcoin as Tesla Model S is to Volkswagen Beetle. Everyone knows Volkswagen, a car, just like everyone knows Bitcoin. But I had no idea what Tesla Model S is. I had to Google search. Chinese people would use Baidu. And this is similar to Next. Not everyone knows NXT because it focuses on the development, not on marketing. And Next is very innovative, but there aren't as many Nexters as Bitcoiners. And Tesla Model S is a car of the future. It's a 2 years old electronic car with many fantastic features. And most of us will be using cars based on this technology in 20 years. So Bitcoin is like a 10 years old car used by the mainstream population, and NXT is like a car that will be used by the mainstream population in 20 years. But the point is that both Nikola Tesla Model S and NXT already exist. The core design of the Next doesn't use wallet.dat, known file with private keys from Bitcoin. Why? It is easy to implement this feature, and some clients are using it, but not everyone wants to store his private keys, his coins, on his computer. At some countries, like Russia, it's even illegal to own cryptocurrencies. If you use wallet.dat, your bitcoins can be confiscated. But the Next Brave Wallet is just a password. You can memorize part of the password, so people in Russia can freely use it, and nobody can confiscate your coins if he doesn't threaten you. You can also use encrypted messages and send them directly to your customers, friends, or readers. There can be even codes for the redemptions, cards, vouchers. I already bought gaming vouchers and at the next marketplace. I received the code and I used the code in the games and I got the gaming money very easily. And this can be used for Amazon, Starbucks vouchers, cards, anything. And it's a core feature and very simple to use. Multi-gateway, it's a third-party software integrated into SuperNet. I will talk about it later. And it allows moving cryptocurrencies out and in of the next asset exchange. Monetary system is will very soon implement creating new currencies on top of the next blockchain, and these currencies will have various attributes and distribution or features. And the whole network, all of those currencies will be secured by the next network. And this monetary system also consists of the decentralized Kickstarter. And everything will be a core features with the minimum transaction fees. Coin shuffling, it's a mixing service, again decentralized mixing service, where if a group of people send the same amount of funds, all of them receive their funds to new accounts they provided, but there is no mapping between the sender and recipient accounts. No single participant knows the complete mapping between the source and the recipient accounts. So this can be used for if you want to mix your coins, use them anonymously. This is again core and decentralized feature. So one of my friends used some centralized mixing service. He sent there 100 bitcoins and he lost them because the owner of this service just took them and ran away. But this is a core feature, so there cannot be any hacks or thefts. And smart contracts, the next ecosystem will soon have 2, maybe 3 smart contract systems up and running. And there is also one simple smart contracts implementation integrated into the Secured Asset Exchange project. Next is open source, so you can copy NXT. There are many clones of NXT, but it doesn't make a brand new NXT. Since none of those clones was successful. Why? Because you cannot clone the community or the developers. In decentralized communities, everyone is controlling each other, but many people prefer to see some faces of the coin. The reputation of the next developers is very high because they proved in their year thousands of posts that they are honest, hardworking, not greedy. Devs built Next because of their ideology, not because of the money. They would earn much more in other fields, but they chose to spend their productive years by helping the whole cryptocurrency ecosystem. Why aren't they working on Bitcoin? Isn't it a bad distraction? I don't think so. These people believe in decentralization and they think that Bitcoin is a good idea. But in order to successfully implement decentralization into internet, we need to use some better solutions. And they think that this better solution is NXT. And many core developers already showed their faces. Kushti, a new developer, is visiting conferences. Come from Bayonne, the most known Next developer, already revealed his identity and face and even a daughter. And what about James Lee, JL777? He is a programming machine developing cool features built on top of the Next. He doesn't know Java, and he's doing this from the third world countries. He's so outside of the reach of the United States, and he's moving to another exotic country every 2-3 months. So he's little paranoid, But if you code for 30 hours, then sleep for 4 hours, and you are doing this since February, there needs to be some side effects. So this is how his life really looks like. And you also cannot clone the community. There are 3,000 members on the Next forum, 15 new accounts created every day. And we are visiting about 10 conferences every year, presenting Next at the financial expos or make our own meetups and have many different projects. The size of the development team, it's and Next is known for its big list of the features. Some of those features were already implemented, but many of them are still planned. But how fast will be this implementation? Let's have a look at some statistics about 19 core developers already created 2,400 commits, and everything is visible on the Bitbucket. And one of the biggest miracles of Next is James Lee, who did, I think, about 40,000 lines of code for implementation new features on top of the Next since January. And some of them, like multi-gateway or SuperNet beta, are already running. So it's not just a promise. So James, he's coding like 10 programmers, but with same vision and without any arguments. He built instant DEX, which will allow instant transactions and at the Next blockchain. And he's also creator of the SuperNet, a bridge between the cryptocurrencies. SuperNet is using a multi-gateway and very successful decentralized exchange. There are no fears of the thefts or hacks. And multi-gateway is a very fast way how you can deposit or withdraw your coins from NXT Asset Exchange by using this multi-gateway feature, and with very low tiny fees. And coins are being traded on this Next Asset Exchange like any other assets. You can buy them with NXT, sell them for NXT, and send them to any other NXT user. And if you compare multi-gateway to another exchanges, there is a huge difference, because the multi-gateway has very tiny transaction fees, and also there is no centralized power. You don't have to fear of the stealing the coins or of any other Mt. Gox. Yes, here you can see how the multi-gateway looks like, and but I think it's too tiny. Next has got a quite active Chinese community. We can thank to Chinese exchange BTR, which is supporting Next since January, and Next has got a special Chinese website, nxtchina.org, and even social profiles, a marketplace, nextstore.cn, and I was very surprised how big and active the Next Weibo community is. Because I was at one photo and I got like 30 likes in a few hours, and this can never happen in Facebook or Twitter, because Nexters are from Europe, but we are not as active on the social networks as the Chinese people. And almost every important article was translated into Chinese. Next client is in Chinese. And we had our ambassadors speaking in Beijing, Shanghai, and now finally in Hong Kong conferences. Why should investors buy Next people invest in Bitcoin and other altcoins because they think that the value of these communities will be higher. The philosophy can be risky because there are many altcoins where this rule doesn't count. Speculators can invest in risky projects and hope so at least one of them won't be a scam, one of them will be released, or they can invest in some long-term projects if they are trustworthy. So, and we hope so that NXT is a very long-term trustworthy project. So it's not a hype, pump and dumps coin, but some long-term project with a hopefully bright future. If I would like to invest in something, I need to know that it's safe, and can any hacker destroy NXT? Since NXT survived all attacks during the first year, we can say that NXT is a safe platform. But we helped to this a lot. To be sure, we paid for scientific reviews, and the code was under investigation, and the code and algorithm was reviewed by the cryptographers, and the results were published. So everything is visible on the internet. And there was also a big reward for finding any flaws in the next code, because there were some hidden flaws, but they were relieved after some times. And this search for the flaws helped a lot with finding any other issues and solve them. And also the new features are always being tested on the testnet for many weeks. Next network was constantly under attack, and the Brain wallet is under attack every second. So we can thank to those attackers that now NXT has got a very, very powerful infrastructure. And as a 100% proof of stake cryptocurrency, Next is protected against a wealthy entity that could buy a lot of ASICs, a lot of mining gear. With transparent forging, it's even protected against someone buying most of the coins. And the Next's unique proof of stake algorithm is also resistant to nothing at stake attacks. And Next is quite undervalued because it was released as a simple coin with almost no features. Because the creator wanted the Next to be not to be expensive, and it's released and open source, and has got a very, very huge not as huge development team of the whole Bitcoin, but still there are many people working on Next. Why should businesses sell their shares via NXT Asset Exchange? I asked these questions to some businesses running on Next, and you can see their reasons why they chose to work with Next. So it's a very business-friendly platform, and it's very cheap and fast to make a company assets. Some of the projects may raise hundreds, thousands of dollars within hours there, and it's very easy. It's easy speed and has got a very, very, very fast infrastructure. So it's easy to issue these assets, and not like in Counterparty or Mastercoin. And also there is there will be some special feature called economic clusters, and this will allow transparent forging. The business in the Next ecosystem will be able to control the consensus with using the common sense. I still don't know what this means, but some people maybe do. And multiple exchanges are already working with NXT assets, so they successfully adopted this technology. And why should developers build apps for Next? It's very easy to build applications because for all platforms, for Windows, Android, and there is a big difference between apps built on top of Bitcoin and on top of Next, because Next arbitrary messages provide 1000 bytes. So you can store more information on next blockchain. And still, because it's lightweight, it's still fast. Here you can see Nextday. It's a very successful application built on top of the Next. It's a crypto messenger service. You install it from Android and you have no idea you just used cryptos, because it's just every new user gets his NXT address as a proof of identity. So it's one of very interesting use cases, and it was released few weeks ago. There is also a secured asset exchange. It implemented the asset exchange trading in the browser, so you don't have to install NXT, and you can even use bitcoins for buying the next assets. Or the free market, as you can see on the picture from provided by Cointelegraph. It's a decentralized anonymous marketplace running on top of the Next blockchain, and while Next Marketplace is a core feature, this is a free market, and it's built on top of this feature by providing some more informations. And one very important feature that will be released, it's the smart contracts. So Turing complete automatic transactions based on a set of rules will be very useful for a large area of users. So there are dividend payouts, pension funds, or Deathman switch. Deathman switch is a very interesting use case. This triggers a payout from your account after some period of time. So in case you die, your children or your family will receive your coins because you set up new accounts just for them. You don't want your family to know all your passwords because there can be some private information. But you can set up new accounts for your family, and after 5-10 years, your coins will be moved to your family. And if you don't die, you can prolong this period. And there will be also some financial contracts and other special features. Why should journalists write about NXT? I think the most interesting part is the decentralized community, because many decisions are based on the social thinking. Like there's no CEO, so we just agree on something based on voting, and everything is funded by the crowdfunding. And NXT already changed the lives of many Nexters. Nexters from poor countries are working for the Nexters from rich countries. So they have people from India, Asia, or even from Eastern Europe. They have a chance to earn money by coding, marketing, even just translating, and Nexters from rich countries are supporting them. They are providing bounties, donations, and it is very cool that this experiment, this very cool idea actually works. And just thanks to the internet and the blockchain, when we are all connected together. And people often like to read about the underdogs, and Next isn't massively covered by the media outlets, while other projects with different funding are. Nexters rather support the development and educational projects like Next Academy, rather than sending expensive bribes to the journalists. NXT in 2015, here you can see one very nice picture from Cointelegraph. Multi-gateway was released, but cross-chain transactions, it's a trustless transactions between the different blockchains, and they are handled by automatic agents or some system. Next voting system, it's prepared, it guarantees anonymity and security without relying on some centralized authority to control the votes. Instant transactions, they are used for very fast transactions and with guaranteed confirmations. So they will be valid almost immediately. Automated transactions, similar to smart contracts, is the Turing complete scripting layer operating on top of the blockchain, and it will allow the DACs, distributed autonomous corporations, to issue transactions automatically and based on the set of rules. Digital goods store was already implemented as a marketplace, and the last feature, account control, this will implement a number of methods for applying limits of controls on next accounts. Account control can even lock your account to prohibit any outgoing transactions and defining a set of rules for unlocking this account. So this core feature brings a decentralized code wallet. And phasing, it's a part of the account control, and this splits the processing of transactions into the phases, and this is a very big step into the true decentralization, because it will make the code storage and also escrow and few other things possible. And now I will briefly talk about the SuperNet. It's a first implementation of a coexisting system between cryptocurrencies, and this SuperNet it's helping cryptos to work together without reinventing the stuff that already exists. And this project collected over 2,000 bitcoins or almost $1 million in the first 48 hours, and the first version of the SuperNet is already online. You can see here the screenshots, and today there are over 500 altcoins. All of them are disconnected from each other. Most of these cryptocurrencies compete for the loyalty or investments, and the disconnection between them, those coin applications such as Darkcoin or Blackcoin, means that users need to go through a long process if they want to benefit from those apps, from Darksand or BlackHello. And the SuperNet, it's the Internet of Coins. This is part of what James Lee has been building for months. It's a new language which allows participating altcoins to communicate among each other. And this isn't finished, but it's mostly based on the NXT and Bitcoin Dark. And moving to my very last topic, NXT, I think that only IT experts understand two cryptocurrencies. So we should bring cryptos to school, to the universities, and this is one of the projects that is just being funded, created, and it will provide online courses, lectures at the universities, creating some materials for education, textbooks, or reports for the students' thesis. And this project started a few months ago. It was many months ago. It was an idea, and 2 months ago we started in the University of Economics in Prague. We gave wallets to 60 students and asked them to play with them to make some projects, and now we are helping them to understand the cryptos. And here you can see that the Cointelegraph wrote about this project, a very nice article. So, as a conclusion, most people don't understand two cryptocurrencies, but they don't need it. We need programmers to build awesome applications on top of the cryptos. And NXT is a perfect way, a perfect toolkit to allow people build stuff on a blockchain. So thank you, Sheshe, for your attention, and if you have any questions.
Hi, Pinder Wong from Hong Kong. As you know, in China we have a huge mining community for Bitcoin with ASICs, and you can see some of them outside. One of the things that you mentioned was to make the mining process more fair by having each coin is effectively its own rig. What would be the incentive for the Chinese Bitcoin miners, some of who are here, to change, to move to Next? I don't understand.
Well, the problem with Bitcoin miners is that they became a very big haters of the pre-mined coins, because they cannot earn money by mining NXT. So I think that the miners, we don't need miners. And it's just a waste of energy, waste of money, waste of power, because the network doesn't need to be maintained by those machines. So, but there is one good thing about that the Bitcoin miners will be able to do it, and it's when the monetary system will be released. There will be new cryptocurrencies built on top of Next, and they can be proof of work. So there will be proof of work distribution of some of those coins, so they will be able to mine new coins built on top of Next. So they can use this feature.
So if I understand you correctly, when the currency comes for Next, then the mining infrastructure will be really used for confirmation transactions?
No. Confirmation will be all maintained by the Next network. So proof of work will be used only for the distribution part, not for the confirmations.
Thank you.
No other questions? Thank you very much.